Welcome to GS Cal peeps, and today is another day. Another sound system is getting built and installed, and what I have here right now is some of these beloved Merc 4Motion C43 2017, and that's what she looks like. Nice and lovely, nice and shiny, B-turbo 4matic beast of a car. And basically I'm going to be installing an aftermarket subwoofer in here. It's already got a Burmeister system from the factory, but obviously if you want some proper bass, you go for aftermarket, you get upgrades and stuff like that. So today I'm going to be putting in, well, not really today, in this series there's going to be quite a few. First of all, I'm going to start with the running all the power cables, RCAs, converters and stuff like that. From the front to the back, we'll be cutting some MDF out, fitting in some, amp rack, where to put amplifiers so it's all nice and neat for the cables and stuff like that. So basically, let's start with the, I'm going to start with the power like I said before. So basically we'll have to take apart all this here. Basically the power to add on is going to be on there, everything's going to be behind in there. I'll show you later on when we take it all apart. We'll take all these panels off, the rear seats are going to come out, and this one side of the panel is going to come out also, so I can get access to the boot. And then what do we have in the boot? In the boot we have a bit of a challenge for me, because the boot on these Mercs, come on, you little sausage, you need the keys. The car is so clever that I can't even open the boot without the key. Oh, come on. Eventually. So in here in the boot, as you all know, so basically this compartment here is going to be done out with some MDF, and I'm going to fit the amplifier inside here. Cables are more than likely going to go from underneath there inside here. And then I'm going to face the challenge, since these boots are on a slope, and we'll be having one 12-inch more than likely in the middle with the port either side. I will come up with that idea later on. And basically what we'll be doing is we'll be curving the wood and building a box. I've already did some measurements, and the box is going to be 2.4 cubes. So basically after displacements, the ports and everything, it's going to be perfect 2 cubes for this 1K beast. Let me show you what is going to go inside of this pretty. And this is all that is going in. We've got ESX 1000 watt RMS sub, ESX Signum 1000 watt RMS amp, 2 gauge power cable, ESX stereo patch cord, double shielded twisted OFC copper RCAs, obviously fuse holder, and I will need to install high to low input converter onto the subwoofer output for the sub, so that my aftermarket subwoofer can run what it needs to run. This big bass, it's a nice lovely carbon fiber, whatever you call it, I forgot now, dust cap. And this big boom mass magnet. This subwoofer actually uses the same sort of technique as B2 audio, where there is the vented magnets around the voice coil for the extra cooling to keep this thing cool. And double layered spiders and stuff like that. So it's really cool stuff, good stuff. I'll be building a custom box for this, so this is gonna be a bit later on. For the time being, I need to install this, and this to make that work. So that's going in first, and then we'll be working on that, and then we'll be working on that the very end. So to install all the power cables and everything, I need to take apart I need to take apart all of this here. So everything will be attaching behind that panel, but to get that off, I need to take all this side off. And then basically I'm going to continue stripping. I'm going to strip this part in here as well. And then obviously we'll be taking the rear seats as I go along. But for the time being, I'm going to put this on a time lapse. I'm going to strip all this out. It's only really like on clips, just pull them off and whatnot, blah blah blah. And then I will try and kind of put the camera in here to show you what to attach and where. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna put this on a time lapse now, and let's get this car stripped a little bit for the time being.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit.
Basically, I stripped that part off. And what you're getting here is, literally, so you need to take this off. That sits over the top of it all, over the foot kick panel. And that sort of thing what you can see from there. Basically I'm going to be attaching my high to low input converter to the sub in there, and then basically I'm more than likely hide it either there on the side there, or I'm actually going to bring it and put it in there, extend the cables and stuff like that, just to make it nicer, I suppose. Or, to be fair, I can see that these two pink wires are going just along there, and I can really just tap into them from there, and then I can tap into one of these green wire, these wires in here for the power, and then as soon as subwoofer receives the signal, it's gonna give out a second, basically secondary remote turn on. So that kind of makes my life a little bit easier-ish, I suppose. But the next is the power cable. Normally they say to tap into here to go into that cable there to get the power, but I am not doing that. I'm actually going the proper way, and I'm going to be going directly to the battery. So if you go to the front of the car, here is the battery. So you lift this cover up, it just holds in a couple of things, and this is where your battery sits. And that big thick cable, I believe so, is that one there, and then it runs along there and comes in there. But there next to this harness there, just right there, see that harness? There are two empty slots in that place there, and that brings me the power cable straight through the firewall, alongside of the wall. See where the screwdriver is, where I've stuck it in? Up there, so you can see two holes. If it focuses, two holes in there for extra cabling to go through. So that gives me a perfect place to connect directly to the battery, and then bring my fuse block down in there, and through there, through everything in here, and I don't have to mess about with any other car electrics or anything, or be worried at a later date something's gonna happen and shit's gonna hit the fan. So straight away what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the battery out, drill a hole in there about 10 mil, and then squeeze my big red cable through there and make this happen. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna put you on a time lapse and get that sorted.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe.
And that's how we get the power cable in. There it is, there it sits, nice and simple. Now I can put a battery back in, put the crimp terminal on the top, put it onto the positive end, and job's a good one. And no messing around, no nothing. Everything goes straight in without any problems. We'll put this wire, take this wire down to the side, and you're good to go. Cable tied together. Cable tied this prettiness together, and that's it. All good. No stress, no mess. So now next part is what I need to do is I need to install my high to low input converter. That's the next part. That is the next part, which is this. So basically, take this stuff off. Like so. You can purchase these from me direct if you want to. Renegade. And basically, what do we have here? We have black for ground, other black or brown one is for the speaker ground. I'm not going to be using that. Then red goes to red, and blue is your remote out, and then basically left and right negative needs to be paired together, and then left and right positive needs to be paired together because it's mono, it's not stereo. And then we'll attach to these purple pink wires. Yeah, it looks like pink to me, like, yeah, so pink wiring in there, and then we'll put that box behind this module, and you're not even gonna know it's there. And then this piece of plastic basically goes on the top like so, and that's it. And that's the high to low input converter is gonna be wired in. Simple as that. Cool. So basically I have to skin this wire down, back a bit down, and tap into that pink cable to get the power, and then I'm gonna tap into one of these cables for the power for here, for this one, so I can get the remote turned on and off for the amplifier. Right, cool. I'm gonna get down to doing that. I won't be able to film it, unfortunately, because I would have to put it in there, and I don't think it's gonna work out because you're not gonna be able to see apart from the back of my head. But I'll just show you the end result, what's what, and yeah. So I'm gonna go and do that and finish this thing. Right, some few hours have gone by, to be fair, and I went and installed all the power. So basically that went straight onto the battery terminal, and then I've got my fuse holder where I'm gonna have to put the fuse in as well, but that's later on once I'm done with it all. Seat came out, carpet came out, which actually quite easy to do. So basically you undo the seat. Well, obviously you need to use these buttons. So before you disconnect the seat together, you need to use them buttons to shuffle it about to get these bolts, which are, what the hell, where the come on, where is that little bit that I had it here somewhere. So you've got 4 of these bolts that hold the seat in place. Where is this? Oh, here it is. So that's E14 to remove these 4 bolts along here. And basically after you've removed them, you just slide the seat a little bit back, then disconnect the battery. It's a must to disconnect the battery after that, because then you're gonna have to be removing all these cables here, and some of these cables are your ABS, not the ABS, sorry, the airbag sensors and stuff like that. So if you don't do that, the megabyte might go off, might not, but you will certainly end up with the error code for the restraining system. So that's the last thing that you want to do, and it's not going to go off just by disconnecting a battery and reconnecting the battery again. That's already proven. I had a guy who came in and he basically he disconnected these what you call it, the, oh my god, disconnecting the steering wheel airbag, and you couldn't get the code off no matter what you try. You have to have a diagnostic tool for these newer cars to disable the airbag light. So we're moving further in. That's the high to low input converter is installed. So I've attached black stripe cable to the pink and black stripe, and just the solid colors went to the solid pink. I had to de-tape this part, which is a nightmare to do, as you well know. Automotive, all this Tessa tape is it's cool to put it on, it looks nice in the finish, but when you're trying to get it off, it is a bit of pain in the ass to do so. So this is all attached now to the sub, so the converter only gets the sub sort of output, whatever goes from your amplifier, whatnot, which is just a sub output. So from there is a power cable that goes from the high to low converter to activate it, and I've actually found the place in here in on the existing glove fuse box. There is this 60 amp fused connector, and I've just put it on top of that, and that's going to be it. Ground, I had to extend the ground, the cable, it runs along there, and then it just attaches to the factory ground, and that's it. And the power cable, as you went before, it went in there, goes alongside here, here. I'm still working on this side here at the moment. That's all going in there. So now I need to remove these back seats. So basically, I might actually film, I'm trying to film it, but what you have to do is, this part needs to lift up, so you pop it off there. But before that, you might as well go ahead and remove this part in here, And then you've got this 10mm plastic bolt, sorry. You need to undo that, and then basically when you lift this, because this is like on clips, so when you lift it up like that, see there is that metal thing that clips inside the place. Basically remove that bolt, unclip that side, and this whole thing should come out without a problem. So what we'll be doing is, I'm gonna put this all on the time lapse, remove all them things, and we'll remove the back seat out, and then we'll continue running wires to the back here. I'm gonna remove this part, that's the amplifier that's going in. I'm going to be making the board that will go sit within there and basically secure the amplifier in place. But to remove this part, there's a little, see that shiny plastic bit? That needs to come out, and that needs to come out, and then this whole thing will just slide out, and then I will be able to install my cables. If I need to, I will remove the side panel to take the cables away, but if there is enough place and stuff like that, I won't. And if it all looks nice and neat, I will just install it in there. But obviously I'll show you later on what's the crack, how it is. But at the moment it's all going back on a time lapse, and I'm going to remove them back seats because possibly I will have to remove this side panel here, which is half piece panel. Well, first of all, this whole thing can be removed separately, but if I need to, I might have to remove this whole part just to put the cables in away, and so you cannot see them or anything. So, but for the time being, I need to remove this back seat to get to the rest of the things.
Recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet. 'Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. 'Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. Shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a...
And, oh my god, pardon. And unfortunately, this is the end of the part 1. I've got no more time to explain anything what I did in the time lapse because it's running out. So I'm going to see you in the part 2, and I will explain this, all of what I did, how I removed the panel and stuff like that. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you in the part 2.